Did you service those?
Yeah, maybe it's great. I bet they just didn't come down.
I think there's like water.
What?
Yeah. Or maybe it's like just describing.
I think it's this.
Okay.
They were always doing that when I came in.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
How to go that way?
Good. What are you doing?
Pretty good. Question. Is that okay? Thank you. Usually really helpful when you do that. Appreciate it. I'm happy with how my quiz one answers. You graded it like first test. That's good.
Yeah, that was great.
Here, like more default.
Yeah, I know. It's surprising. The other classes were full.
Section or
No,
no?
the other class I just came, those are for my class.
Okay.
I think it's a Ryken class.
Dr. Al, you get my homework?
What, honey? Did we have one last time? Yeah.
No, did you get my homework?
Oh, I don't know. Was it?
Okay.
Okay, I have some people in, but I still need more people. More peeps.
Got 1 minute. Dr. Riley, do you guys take like the day off?
We have professional development stuff.
Okay. They just come in without like teaching.
No, it's all Zoom stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so let me just, see who's here among us. We're just returning the quizzes, I don't think I did that.
Or missing something. Well,
Yeah, so, don't be quiet, but that's not good.
I always said that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay. So, okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna put attendance in. Now I think we have some people. That. Then we're gonna go over the quiz and then we're gonna go over the homework. Okay, so I have Sam is out. Georgie's present on Zoom, and I don't have Donovan. Donovan is absent. Okay, we've got 2 people absent, so I have, so today is the 27th,
7.
thank you. 7, and I have Sam out, and I have Donovan. Okay, all right, so let's first look at the quiz. Okay, so let me get into the quizzes.
Not to be confused with the other quizzes.
Right, exactly. Oh, Donovan. Okay, Donovan, you are late, honey. Okay, so back into attendance. Okay. Okay, now we're back into it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go through a quiz. So we're going to go through polls. Okay, so let me share my screen. We're going to go over the quiz, which went well for many people. If you're not one of those people, definitely pay attention now so that you clarify whatever misunderstandings you may have had.
Who went the quiz?
Yeah. Okay, so here's the quiz. So key thing here, let me just get another pen going. Key thing for this question, this is 4, so therefore this is 2 times the little, gives you big, that's gonna be 8. Donovan,
Yeah, bitch. That pressure, nigga.
Donovan, you have a choice. If you'd like to attend class, there's no music. If you'd like to skip class, feel free, and then you listen to music. Okay, what will your choice be?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, so this one, we had some people get confused on this one. They told you up here that DE is the mid-segment. So therefore, you've got to know that this is the midpoint, and that means this is equal to this. So it's going to be the exact same answer. I had a handful of people write down 5 for that. So just to clarify that. For this one, they're looking for the little, they give you the big, divide the big in half, you get the little. For this, what I'm looking for these first 4 questions, I want to know what they're parallel to. So RS is this little guy. He's parallel to this big guy, JL. ST, change colors. ST is this little guy, and he's parallel to this big guy, JK. KL is this big guy, and he's parallel to this little guy, RT. Okay, that for the most part was handled well. I think one person wrote down like half, thinking that they needed to say what the values are. That wasn't the case. Okay, so then this last one, now you have a different symbol. They want to know what's congruent. So JR is right here. So I'm going to write this stuff down. It's going to help me answer the question. What I just did was, I recognize that that's a midpoint. JR is then equal to RK and also to ST. Okay, so some people get that incorrect. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay, so let me keep going. Okay, now this was interesting in some cases. Okay, so what people did that was successful, I'll tell you what they did. They wrote right here, 2x plus 4, and then 5x plus 4 is this whole piece. If you do that, your brain's going to say 2 times little equals big. So that's 4. 4x plus 8 equals 5x plus 4. Subtract 4x, subtract 4x, that gives me x equals, subtract 4, x is 4. Okay, so that got you 3 points by saying x is 4. Then you needed to plug in the 4 to get DE and to get GJ. Now, if you had an error here, let's say you said maybe x is 3, but then you plugged in 3 correctly here and here, I gave you credit for those second 2 questions. Okay? But the correct answer should have been 4 with your x, and then plugging in 4 here gives you 12, and then gives you 24 here. All right, so that's the deal. Any questions on this from anybody at all? All right, so these grades are already in, but I want to make sure I went over this so that you understood what the story was. Okay, next topic. So let's look at the homework. Let me get back into here, I guess.
Thanks for going over it.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so now, remember after the quiz, we talked about what? What was the topic? Billy, what was our topic after the quiz?
It was the notes packet.
Say that again?
It was the notes packet, right?
Right, so, and what was the topic of the session? 5.2.
Hold on, let me find it.
Okay. It's a 2-word thing. Do you want Bryce to help you, or you want to look it up?
It was perpendicular bisectors.
Excellent. Yep. Okay, so let me stop sharing and resharing. Okay, so when we do perpendicular bisectors, what 2 things happen when we have it? Bryce, do you remember this?
Oh, what?
So when I have a perpendicular bisector, that word is 2 words.
Yeah.
So that means 2 things have got to happen when I have one. Do you remember what they are?
Yeah.
So what does the word perpendicular mean?
Divided or 90 degrees.
Right, so a 90-degree angle is formed, excellent,
And divide by 2.
and divided by 2. Okay, so everyone at home here, what Bryce said? Because I'm gonna ask you this question on the quiz, which will at this point be next class. So you definitely wanna know that when you have a perpendicular bisector, you've got two things happening.
So I get the 90 degrees, so, but you said divide by 2.
The segment that, when it makes 90 degrees on that segment, it divides that segment in half.
Okay.
That's the divide by 2 part.
And you have to apply those things, right?
You wanna,
When solving problems?
yes,
Okay.
absolutely,
I think
absolutely.
that's the right word.
Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Let's just check through this homework, okay? So I'm gonna call on you either at home or in class, so be on the lookout. All right, so in this diagram, RS is the perpendicular bisector of PQ. So what I would do right away is I would give myself a right angle and tell myself that this equals this. Now, the theorem we learned the other day told us one more thing. If R is on the perpendicular bisector, which it is, then this guy is going to equal this guy. So you need to find PR. So they want the length of it.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
If R wasn't on it, we wouldn't include that 6 times, right?
So if R wasn't on the perpendicular bisector, then you can't set those two things equal.
There wouldn't be this kind of problem.
Wait, is that the right answer?
That's not an answer. That's just,
Oh, you had.
you have to solve for it.
Is it PR is equal to 27?
So let's see, if I make this, what did you say was equal to, Bryce?
PR equals 27.
I don't think so.
You have to
Let
make
me
equal to
work it out.
90 degrees.
No, it's not an angle.
I have 4.5 equals X.
Yes, that's what I have. Okay, so what's gonna happen is this. You are allowed now to set this equal to this. So that's what I did. Okay, what's my next step? Georgie, what's my next step? I set them equal, what do I do next?
You gotta solve it.
Great, and I do that by first doing what?
Subtracting 8x from both sides.
Okay, I would not do that, 'cause I don't like to deal with negatives, but we can deal with negatives if you like.
Well, how else would you do it?
I would add 9 to both sides. Now I have -9 equals 2.
I did
It's
the
the same answer either way.
This threw me off because I think I solved it this way originally. I wasn't that sure to begin with, and then I got 0.5, which kind of threw me off.
When you should get the same answer, no matter how you do it, as long as you do it correct.
As long as you do the math correctly, you get the same answer. So we're getting x equals 4.5.
Yeah.
But that's still not my answer, right? So I have to say PR, so 6 times 4.5 equals, and you're right, Grace. So PR ends up being equal to 27.
Okay.
Because what I did was, I said 6 times 4.5.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions in the home front? So the key is, you can't just solve for x, you then have to figure out the length of PR to get the correct answer, okay?
Dr. Riley, one quick question. So basically, you got PR equals 27, and if you did that 8 times 4.5 or -9 or just times 6, it would have been the same thing, right?
Right, so let's try that. So x times, 8 times 4.5 minus 9 gives me 27 as well. So I know that my answer is correct because I wanted to show that these two sides are equal.
That's the way you can check.
That's how you can check, yep, so always check. Okay, so the
Dr.
next thing,
Dr. Riley, where'd you get 27 from?
I got 27 by plugging it in to PR. So PR equals 6 times x. Take your x, plug it in.
What PR equals 8x.
And you just multiply it? You
Oh,
just
you're right,
multiply
you're right.
4.5 times x?
I'm losing my head here. My answer is correct, but I plugged it into the bottom first. I shouldn't have done that because PR doesn't equal 6x. So that's what, yeah, sorry, that's what threw me off.
Wait, what wrong?
So I had to plug it
She
into the
plugged it
top.
in for QR.
I plugged it into what you had. You had PR equals 6x, but PR equals
27
8x minus 9.
equals PR. So you set up the equation 8x minus 9 equals 6x, then you got -4.5, and then you plugged in that's
Now I got
six.
positive 4.5.
Sorry, positive 4.5, and you plugged in the 6
Yes,
into both places, and you got 27 in both places.
I plugged in the X into both.
Sorry,
places.
the X, which
Then
is
that brings
4.5.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so this next question, number 2, has more than one answer. Okay, you should have multiple answers. So let's look at this. If I know that this equals this, then I know that this line goes all the way up, because L has to be on the perpendicular bisector for them to be equal.
Because it's at the same place.
Mhm.
Okay.
So they tell me that JM is a perpendicular bisector. They gave me the right angle, but they didn't do this. So I'm gonna make those marks. Then, because this J is also on the same exact perpendicular bisector, then that means this guy has to also equal this guy. So let's list them out. So the sides that are gonna be equal, I'll do this first one, LH with a line segment symbol is gonna be congruent to LK. Okay, Morgan, give me another pair that are gonna be equal. Morgan. I made the marks on the diagram, so tell me what else is gonna be equal now. I listed LH and LK. The bisector, look what was bisected. You see how this was bisected?
Yeah.
Has to equal that. Tell me the letters. H what?
H K or HM.
HM gonna be congruent to what?
MK.
Exactly, MK. Good, good. Okay, Mick, I'm gonna pull on you for the last one.
Dr. Riley?
Yep.
What is, HJ, equal to KJ?
That's what I was gonna ask Mick for. Mick, you're gonna be on call for the next one, because Bryce just told us that that's okay. HJ is also gonna be congruent to JK. So there's a lot of things going on here. So make sure that you're understanding that, okay?
Dr. Wiley. This is about. So you couldn't say JH and JK, right?
I just did. Oh, yeah, you can say that.
Okay,
It's
got
the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, so then let's look at these. This is important to be able to get these for the next section. So when you change from a mixed number to an improper fraction, improper means that the numerator is heavier. So you would say 2 times 4 plus 1 is 9, and then put it all over 4. So that's good, that's good. Then do the division. 4 goes into 9 2 times, with 1 left over, and that goes over the original denominator. Okay, so this is good, this is good. Okay, so then,
Okay.
don't do this. So, see this? This is what you want to be doing. So keep it,
Oh,
change it, flip it, and you get 9/8. That's equivalent to 1 1/8. Okay, watch my next one. Keep it, change it, flip it, multiply straight across. 13 times 1 is 13. 8 times 2 is 16. That's less than 1, you leave it.
less than, when it's less than 1, you leave it as a
That's a fraction.
fraction, okay.
So keep it, change it, flip it. That's 12/8. So that's more than 1. So that's 1 4/8, which I can also make 1 1/2.
You would accept either of those.
Yep, either of those good.
And one question about this,
Uh-huh.
Dr. Riley, how do you know multiply by 1/2 each time?
Because you're multiplying by the inverse of the second term. Inverse means you flip it over.
So let's say,
This is 2/1, so inverse is 1/2.
And if that was a 4, it would be 1
1
over
over
4.
four.
Got it,
Yep,
okay.
okay, so now down here, you've got to divide by the mixed number, but you're gonna first change your mixed number to an improper fraction.
Dr. Ryan, I'm so sorry, one really good question.
Uh-huh,
How do you know to do the inverse when it doesn't say it?
that's the rule of how you multiply fractions.
Okay.
Okay, so again, down here, we're gonna keep it, change it, flip it. So if you're getting these incorrect, make these corrections with me. So 5/4, I'm keeping that, change your operation multiplication, and flip it, multiply straight across, done.
So you're gonna multiply it regardless, even if it's a divide?
So you never really divide fractions, you multiply by
Okay,
the
so what you did is you multiplied 5 with the denominator and added the numerator, and that's how you got 5.
I multiply by the reciprocal. I took this number and I flipped it over.
No, I'm talking about how you got the 5/4. You
Oh,
multiplied
so what
the
times one, yeah,
denominator,
you're good at that.
and then you added to the.
Right, yeah,
Got it.
yeah,
and
that's
the
how you do that.
Piece of the reciprocal.
16, 17, yep,
Okay,
this is 19 over 8, so keep it, change it, flip it. That's 19 over 16, which is improper, so that's gonna be 1 3/16. And the last one, 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 more is 11, 11/4, keep it, change it, flip it. 11/8, also improper, that's gonna be 1 3/8.
this makes all.
Okay, so anybody have any concerns about the foundational math? Because we're gonna end up using fraction stuff a little later on, so I wanna make sure you're comfortable with it. So, if you have questions, you can always ask me, offline as well, and we can do some more practice with this.
So Dr. Riley, this is stuff we did when we were younger, but
Yes,
it's
you
been
have
a
to
while.
know, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was confused, because like the first couple stuff I was able to do, but when it came to like the last couple problems, I just like blanked out. I couldn't remember.
So remember that mantra, keep it, change it, flip it.
Right.
And just when you see fractions, remember that you never really divide fractions, you multiply by the reciprocal,
Right.
okay? Okay, so now let's go back to the subject matter at hand, which is perpendicular bisectors. They want us to find the length of CD. So they're telling me that I have a right angle, because they told me these things, right angle's present, and this is equal. That's how I know that BD is a perpendicular bisector. And when that happens, I also know that these guys are going to be equal. So they want us to focus our attention down here. So what do you think? How did you get 86? How did you get degrees?
I probably got completely thrown off because of I saw the right angle, so I thought not degrees.
Yeah, but it's just information, so you have to use it. Okay, so tell me how I'm gonna set this up. Mick, I didn't call on you last time. What two things will I set equal?
The 4x and the 2x plus 4.
The 2x plus 4 equals 4x. I'm gonna do my magic. 2x is gonna equal 4, so therefore x will be equal to 2. They want CD, which is this guy.
So you plug it back in.
So 2 times 2 plus 4 is 8. So CD should be 8. Okay, how's that for those at home? Is that okay? All right, so let's keep going.
Dr. Riley, this isn't that different. I don't know why, I just got completely thrown off the number.
You never mix angles with sides. Okay, so now look at this one. I have a perpendicular bisector because they told me about the right angle and the fact that those two pieces are equal. Therefore, I'm allowed to set these guys equal. So I'm going to set what two things equal? Carson, what two things am I going to set equal? Oh, Carson. Okay, I'll come back to Carson a little bit. Morgan, what two things should I set equal? I just put my marks here and here. I have to solve for CD. CD is here. What is CD equal to? What other piece can I set it equal to?
AD.
Yes. X plus 1 equals 8x minus 4. Okay, so that's going to be 5x equals 5. That means x is 1. If x is 1 and I need CD, 3 times 1 plus 1 is going to be 4. So CD is going to equal 4. Okay?
Dr. Riley?
Yep.
So if I set it up as 8x minus 4 equals 3x plus 1, that was the right, it would still give you the right answer, but just.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, that order doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Yes.
In the homework that I turned in, I didn't put I just put what X equals.
Okay, so then that's your tip order. Read the directions so that you're answering a good question. Just not quick, okay?
Cause I didn't check the map and then say.
Yeah, so, because it says your job is to find this, and the only way to do that is to first find X. But then always go back and say, okay, what do you want me to do? They ask you different things. Sometimes they'll just say find X, sometimes they'll say use it to find something else. Okay, so yeah, that's good. Always just watch. That's good that you picked that up. Okay, now technically, I'm gonna tell you about these two problems. Technically, you would say no solution. Why am I saying that?
Because there's no right angle.
Right, they never really put them at a right angle. Okay, so I think that's not a very interesting answer. So I'm gonna tell you, let's have a right angle so that we can solve it the way you wanna solve it. But know that you have to have both the right angle and the equal pieces to know that it's a perpendicular bisector. Right now, it's just a bisector, which doesn't do anything else for us, okay? So be careful about that, because that is what a trick thing that they were trying to catch you in.
Dr. Riley, what do you mean the equal pieces on both sides?
This guy equals this guy.
Oh, those
Then you
lines.
have the bisector part of it.
Those are the bisectors, those lines.
That's what's been bisected.
Got it. And those lines represent what's been
It
bisected.
tells you that they're equal,
Okay.
okay? So then what you want to do is if you had the right angle, you can then say, what are the things? Donovan, if you had a right angle here for number 3, what two sides can you set equal to solve for this problem?
What?
How can you say what, Andrew? I just said the exact statement.
You say it
Don,
again.
please stop listening to young boy.
Yeah, Donovan, if you listen to music, I can't sing the lesson to you, but I think it's probably a good idea to listen to me.
All right, sorry. Can you say it again?
Yes. So if you have these two, if you have a right angle and a bisector, which two sides can you set equal?
B and BC.
B and BC. No? Okay, your job is to find CD. Hopefully it's something that's associated with CD.
I was supposed to find CD, then it's AD and CD. They're equal.
That's right. So yes. So this homework you did not submit, by the way. And okay, so I'm setting those two equal. And so if I move things around, we get 3x equals 24. X is going to equal 8. So do some fast math for me, Donovan. 2 times 8 plus 4 gives me what? 2 times 8 is what, Donovan?
It gets you 20.
16 plus 4 is 20. Yep. So CD equals 20. Okay, last one. So keep listening, Donovan. Georgie, what about you? Get this last one. I put a right angle there. So what two things can you set equal now?
You have to.
I'm just listening. Go ahead.
You have to set equal 10x minus 4.
Please stop,
4x.
Georgie. It was not your turn to talk.
She literally said my name.
Okay, Georgie's talking. Donovan's listening.
Yeah. Please stop.
Okay. Okay, so set those equal. Do some magic math for me. Looks like 6x equals 18. So
I got 6x equals 8. I don't know
Um,
why.
I think you may have missed the tens digit. Did you miss the tens?
Let me go over what I did real quick.
Add the 4 to the 14, and you'll get.
Yeah, I did miss the 10.
Yep, that's okay. So then in this,
Right.
x will be 3, so therefore 4 times 3 plus 14. That's 12 plus 14 gives me 26, and therefore CD is 26. Okay, so in this situation, we had to solve for the segment CD. So you had to first solve for x and then solve for the segment.
Dr. Riley, will there always be numbers on both sides? Or will
A
there,
lot of times.
what,
Yeah, a lot of times.
and what do
we'll
you,
have-
what do you do if you don't have numbers on both sides? Do you not solve the problem?
You can have a value on both sides. You can have, they'll have 7 equals 2x plus 1 or something. That those equal.
Okay,
Okay.
and, really quickly, so if CD, let's say it's like find the length of CD and it has both parts on both sides, you use both sides when you're plugging the value.
You've got to set them equal. And
But
then
after,
it's always good to check both places because they should be the same exact
and that's
value.
how you know if you got it right.
Right, and if they're not, then you know you have a tip off. I should probably go back and check that.
To see what you're wrong.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna do one thing. Okay, so I wanna do this next page. I'm gonna have to erase this first. Yes, I do. Okay, so everyone get out your notes packet, because I wanna do this next one with you. Because I stopped there so that I could have some time to go over this with you. So we're on page 12, which is not numbered for some reason. And just to refresh, it's been a while since we talked about this. We're working with perpendicular bisectors, okay? And what they're telling us now is they're going to draw the whole triangle. And they are putting in a circumcenter, which is right here. Okay, so I'm going to make some notes over here. So point O equals the circumcenter. A circumcenter is where all the perpendicular lines, perpendicular bisectors meet. So there's no illustrations on this figure. So I'm going to go around and put my illustrations on it before I even look at the questions to make it easier for me to understand.
Dr. Riley, why did you say P plus
Point 0. So
point,
point O is the circumcenter. It's the middle right there.
point, oh, got it, but P is pretty good here.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so look what we have. They told us that the perpendicular bisectors are shown dashed. So what you should do right away is go around and say that's dashed, that was dashed, that's dashed. So I put my right angles there. They are perpendicular bisectors. Therefore, I know the segment that they cross, they bisect. Okay, so now the other thing we learned the other day was this. And you may have forgotten this piece, and that's why I wanted to do this together.
Wait. How did you know you could put the 90-degree angle?
Because they told me that all the dotted lines are perpendicular bisectors.
Okay, that was okay.
Yeah, that's the case.
Got it.
Okay, the next thing. The solid lines that are connecting the circumcenter and the vertex of each corner, make them some noticeable color so you can see them. And what you want to know is that those lines that connect the circumcenter to the vertex all end up being identically the same. So I'm going to go around and I'm going to put that value on all the red lines. Then I'm going to work on the outside. If I know this is 26, this is 26. If I know this one is 22, this one is 22. If I know the top one is 20, this is 20. Those are all the things I now know.
Dr. Riley, I see the points that are given, but I'm a little confused on how you know what the other points are.
Well, if they give me 26 here, and I know that this has to equal this, they're both 26.
Oh, like, what about the 26 point, oh, because
They're all the connectors between the circumcenter and the
so
vertex.
basically what you're doing right now is just filling in those places where there aren't numbers. So
Yes.
you know, how to
Yes.
identify their equal.
Because I want to think things through one time. I don't want to try to read the questions and then keep thinking things through again.
That makes sense, okay.
Okay, so given that we've now filled in everything, Cole, I've been ignoring you over there. So tell me, what is, find MO? So where is MO? Okay. And what do you get for an answer? Because O is the center, circumcenter, and then M is the left vertex.
26.8.
Yep. So this you should get to be 26.8. Donovan, are you still listening to me? Donovan? Yeah, I would say Donovan's back with his music. Okay, Georgie, what about you? Can you find PR for me?
Yeah, I think it's 26.
Is, because P is the vertex, and then R is over here. And I agree, this is 26. Okay, Taylor, coming back to you. MN. M is here,
It's 40.
and N is here, it's 40. Good, so what did you do to get it?
Well, Q is 20 and Q N is 22.
So you had to add those two equal pieces. So good, that was good. Okay, how about SP, Bryce? SP, P is the bottom vertex, and S is over here.
22.
22, good. Okay, Donovan, I'm gonna try you again, and then I'm gonna assume that you are skipping my class. Okay, back up to Mick. Mick, what's QN? So Q's up here at the top, and here's N.
20.
Yep, got it. And then MP, Noah? So M is here,
44.
and P is here, yeah, so you had to do the same thing that Taylor did, right? You had to add those two pieces together, good. Okay, so how was that?
But you just stay for 1 second.
That comes, can I slide?
Yeah,
this
yeah,
up a
you
little
can
bit?
just keep it visible.
Yep. Okay, so another big questions down here, and then once we finish this, we are going to do quizzes to practice this, okay? So it says, tell whether the information in the diagram allows you to conclude that C is on the perpendicular bisector of AB. Okay, so let's see. This is a perpendicular bisector. So the thing that's doing the bisecting is this right here, and they haven't drawn it all the way up. So they want to know, can they draw it all the way up? So let's see what else we know. We know that it's perpendicular, and we know that this has been bisected. Then they told us something else. They're telling us this is going to equal this. If that is the case, what can you say about C?
That it is on the.
That's what I call you, Bryce, perfect. So it is, right? So then you know it has to be.
Yeah.
Because if those things are equal, it has got to be, so you can just continue that line and it will be there. So you can say, yes, C is on the perpendicular bisector of AB, and, okay, here's a code. 3 dots means therefore, and therefore, since AC equals CB, you are able to prove this. Okay, so the key is these marks. If I didn't have these marks, if it just looked like this instead, so let me draw the same triangle. And let me tell you that, here's the, we'll continue it like this. Here's the perpendicular bisector. I'm telling you that it is. And I'm telling you that this is equal to this. And here is C up here. This C, this is not on the perpendicular bisector.
Dr. Riley, I don't know what some of the stuff you wrote says.
Okay, I'll read it out loud.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I said, can you show that C is on the perpendicular bisector? Yes. C is on the perpendicular bisector of AB. And therefore, I didn't really write it very well. And therefore, since AC equals CB, you're able to prove this. Okay, the fact that this means therefore, those little symbols means therefore. So the key is to have those two pieces set equal.
Wait,
If I don't have these two pieces set equal, then this C is not on the perpendicular bisector.
Dr. Riley, what does that say before AC?
Since,
Okay, so, someone, sorry, I'm just writing this down. Understand that well. So we explained it's on the perpendicular bisector
because they told you that AC equals CB. In my other example over here, if I don't tell you that, you can't tell me that C is on the perpendicular bisector.
wait, you said on AC and BC, but it's on AB.
Yeah, I want to know if they continue this line up here, will that line hit C?
It will.
It will not. It will not in this situation
No,
because
no, the first
the first one it will,
because
because these guys are equal.
you need those
You
lines.
need
So
them.
what you need
If
to
you
do,
don't have them,
that it can't work.
right, so they're not equal.
So
Those are not equal, and therefore C is not on it. Okay?
So you need those lines.
You need those lines.
Sorry, almost done right.
Yeah.
What did you say was therefore same AC? Before AC? The word,
Since.
okay.
Okay, so anybody have any questions about this? So let's just recap. Perpendicular bisector cuts a segment in two equal parts, and where it cuts it, it makes a right angle. Okay, so that's one thing I want you to know. Another thing I want you to know is if you do all of them inside a triangle, the center where it meets is called the circumcenter. And then if you draw lines from the circumcenter to the corners of the triangles, that length will always be equal. So those are two big concepts.
Dr. I feel that.
Okay, so what we're gonna do next, Donovan, are you listening now? Okay, so let's go, we're gonna go ahead and do the
You're
quiz.
able to prove this, got it, I'm good.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing this. Let me go back and find my quizzes that I liked. And then I'll share it, and then you can practice doing that. And then the homework is gonna be a review sheet that will go over these concepts for you. Okay, so let me find quizzes.
Dr. Riley, how many points is it gonna be worth the quiz?
I'm probably comfortable with this other one. I think I-
So comparable time and comparable amount of questions you would say.
So what are we doing?
We're gonna do a practice quizzes,
Okay.
and then we're gonna have a quiz on this next class, not using quizzes. Okay, so here's perpendicular
How much is
bisector.
it gonna be? 25 points?
I'll look it up here when you're doing the quiz, I'll type it.
And about how many questions?
They're gonna be all about the same,
Okay,
because we're gonna quiz just sections at a time, because this,
but don't you add on, like, what previous sections we did this?
I don't wanna do that with this one, because, they're very different. and it gets very confusing.
Oh, but I thought, I was looking at the Google Classroom, it said 5.1 and 5.2.
I think the review is that.
But the quiz is only on 5.2.
Right.
Okay, no, I appreciate that, that makes it a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, you're able to follow.
Yep. Okay, so let me share screen. And here we have it, the share. Okay, so I'm gonna start a live quiz. It's just a practice. And let me just get things going. Okay, so here, continue. Good.
Are we doing 1 or 2 or?
We're gonna do one.
Okay, then we'll
Okay,
start.
so here's the join my quiz. Here's your code.
And then we'll start the.
Dr. Riley, I'm going to the bathroom, I'll be right back.
Okay, did you get in already?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, Dr. Riley, will we do the review like together to start class or just by ourselves?
so when we finish this, we're gonna start the review.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit start here. I've got a couple of people in. So joinmyquiz.com and then you'll be able to see the code still. So read the questions carefully. Sometimes they'll ask you for an X. Sometimes they'll ask you to fill out more than just the X. Okay, Carson, you're up there. Oh, you're good.
Hey,
power-ups are disabled, you disabled the power-ups?
Oh, I didn't, me too. I
It's
didn't do
okay,
anything.
it's okay, just said it was.
Oh, I like the power ups.
Me too,
You know, I didn't do it.
I don't know why. It's just-
Maybe whoever wrote that was initially didn't have it, and
Yeah.
I saved it over.
It's okay,
No, I love the power ups.
no, I do too.
So maybe big 6900.
Okay, so let's see how we're doing. Ooh, George, you finished strong.
That's because he does it twice.
I don't think he did it twice this time. That was his first time through.
My bad, George.
Who was that?
I said, my bad, George. Hated on it.
Bryce, keep focused, you're gonna do well.
Dr. Riley, I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick.
Dr. Riley, I dominated.
Not everybody's done yet. Because it's much faster.
Ooh, yeah, I don't think you dominated.
He's not in first place for me.
What place are you in, Alan?
That I got one more question.
Okay, so the battle's on. Bryce? Go for it. You got a couple more left, right? 2 more questions, maybe?
Yeah.
Am I gonna be able to finish up the right way?
I hope so.
Oh.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Do we have homework or is it just a mock quiz?
This mock quiz is gonna be your homework.
Okay.
So if you guys are done, you can go ahead and download the mock quiz.
But did you check how many points the quiz is worth?
Oh, yeah, let me do that. Let me do that. Let me do that, my dear.
Thank you.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, so the quiz that you're gonna be preparing for is 24 points.
Okay.
Okay, and it's the same length as the other one, so front, back.
Alright.
Four more left. Fourth place. First place.
Keep going, just keep looking at your place. We're waiting on you now, so we've got 2 questions.
Yep,
Okay, let's do it.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Last one. One more.
Sure.
Oh, I put the people to get 3,000.
Oh, come on.
Oh, second place.
Oh, good. How'd you beat out Georgie?
You so sure he's gonna win?
Okay, so let's
Look at the,
this is our top people here. Okay, so let's but I saw lots of very good scores. So let's go through these questions.
will you put that on the Google Classroom at some point if you want to review it?
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
we do that. Okay, so let's look at these. So it says, name a perpendicular bisector in the figure. So it looks to me that you have some choices here. So AD is certainly one, and that was the only valid choice they gave you. So let's look at BG. So BG is just up to here. And that's a segment, it didn't perpendicularly bisect yet, so that's where you can't use BG. And then CF is on the outside, so you can't use CF. And then AB is also on the outside, so you can't use that. So AD is the best answer. Okay, everyone got this correct, so that's awesome. So it was 7 because the other side is 7 and you have a perpendicular bisector. Okay, so then what's the measure of XW? So because the perpendicular bisector has to be the same, everyone got that correct. That was great. Okay, so here, what do we have going on? So here, what's the measure of EG? EG has to be 10. It's this guy down here. So 5 plus 5 is 10. So a lot of people miss that. So we don't want to have that ruin our day. So yeah, it has to be 10 because if GF is 10, then FE is 10. So if GF is 5, FE is 5, so therefore GE is 10. Okay, what's the measure of CD? So CD is in the bottom there, and because it's a perpendicular bisector, because I see that those segments are equal, so then CD has to equal CB, so therefore it's 4. Everyone got that correct? Very nice. Okay, so here, find the length of PO. So let's see if they make that bigger for me, if they don't. Okay, so PO is here. It's a dark line. It's connecting the circumcenter to the vertex. It has to be the same as this one, which was 32. So the correct answer is 32. Okay, look at the one inside here. All 3 of these will be 32. Okay, so you should be looking up here at mine. So I'm going through it. Okay, in the picture, BD equals what? It should be DC. So we have one person grab BG. Okay, so here's BD. That has to equal DC.
Congruence the same, right, Dr. Riley?
Congruence means equal, yep.
Equal.
Okay, determine the measure of OP. Okay, so OP is here. So your job is to set them equal. So what happened? We got 33% accuracy. What happened? They tell you that PR is a perpendicular bisector of OQ. If that is the case, then 3y has to equal 5y minus 24. So therefore, 2y equals 12. 2y equals 24. Y equals 12, but they don't want y. Oh, 5 people answered y. Okay, don't do that. They don't want y. They want the measure of OP. You gotta plug it back in. 3 times the 12 is 36, and that's why it's this. Okay, so make sure you answer the question, because a lot of times you can solve for the y or the variable, but that's not the end of the question. Okay, here's another one that was a problemo. Okay, what's the measure of BU? Okay, BU is here, same thing. Set 7x plus 2 equals to 3x plus 10, and you end up getting 4x equals, 8, so x is going to equal 2. Okay, but that's not going to be your answer. So then take your 2 and plug it in here. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 10 is 16. So I'm not sure how we got 4.5 and 9, because those are 9s on the other side here. So just read the question carefully, because I think you know this material. Okay, so here we have a little problem as well. So they want you only to solve for x. So what you're going to do is you're going to set those 2 equal, which I think we did in the last problem. No, so let's do it again. So 7x plus 1 equals 10x minus 5. So it's going to be 3x equals 6. So x is going to equal 2. So it should be 2. There it is, 2. Okay, so good. So let's do another one. Just be careful with the math. Again, solve just for x. So x is in here, since this is equal and this is equal, that's a perpendicular bisector. So then I know 2x plus 11 has to equal 4x minus 5. So that's 2x equals 16. So x is going to be 8 in my book. Let's see if that's the correct answer. Put that here. So 8 it is. Tell it, 2 in a row. Nice. Okay, so that should be 8. And then here's another one we had issues with. Same exact kind of problem. So here's WZ. So if I have 2x plus 11 equals 4x minus 5, 2x equals 16, I think x is going to be 8. Let me just see how that is. Okay, x is going to be 8, and then plug it in for WZ. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 11 is 27. So I agree with that. That's good. So in this case, don't stop at the x. Okay, here's question 13. What's the length of DC? Okay, so they want the length, not just the x. So 8x minus 4 equals 3x plus 1. 5x equals 5. X equals 1, and plug it in. DC is 3 plus 1, it should be 4. So don't just stop at the x, go ahead and plug it in.
Dr. Riley?
That's the last one.
So you just use the 3x plus, and you use the 8x minus.
I thought you said the equal to solve for it.
Yes, you have to have the equal.
Right, and then you're gonna plug it in because
But
they
the
don't
3x
just want the x, they want the length.
Got it, so you plug it into the 3x plus.
Yep, exactly.
That's how you get it.
Okay, so we have another 15 minutes, so why don't we preview? I'll put this on your Google Classroom so that you can practice doing that one if you like. And I'm going to preview the assignment that you'll be working on so that we can have confidence that you can do this very well. Okay, so here's 6, here's us, here's this. Let me open this. Okay, so let's look at this mock quiz together. So let me get out of this. Okay, Donovan, are you with me yet? Making bad decisions. Okay. Okay, so let me just pull this up. Okay, so I started out this mock review going over the 5-1, just to give you a chance to practice that. So, you know, 2 times little equals big, so I think you can do that. So then, this is exactly like what we've done in the quizzes. Find the length of AB. So that means for 3 and 4, don't stop at x. Okay, go ahead and find the x and then plug it in to get your AB. I would always check your BC also, because if they're both the same, chances are that you've done your calculations correctly. Okay, so now look at these two. Tell whether the information in the diagram allows you to conclude that C is on the perpendicular bisector. So what has to happen if C is on the perpendicular bisector? You have to form an isosceles triangle. So look at 5. Do you see how you have an isosceles triangle? That means that C must be on the perpendicular bisector that's not even drawn in.
Yeah, I was about to say, it can't be.
It can be.
It isn't?
It is, because I see I have an isosceles triangle. So if I were to draw in the perpendicular bisector, C would be on it.
That's the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where would you put the line though?
I would connect it from C to the bisecting point between A and B. And then look at 6.
Oh, you have to be able to put it on.
Yeah, they said, can you conclude that it's gonna be on there?
Got
You
it.
can.
That's sneaky.
But look at 6. 6, they tell you that you have bisected, they don't tell you it's perpendicular, and therefore you cannot assume that CB equals CA, and therefore C is not on the perpendicular bisector.
Wait, Dr. Ryan, I'm sorry, can you say that? I get you said no, but why?
Well, do you see there's no marks on CB and CA? If they were marked equal, then I would say, yeah, that's on the
But there's a
perpendicular
mark
bisector.
on B and A.
Yeah, well, I know it's that line, bisected, it didn't do a perpendicular bisector, there's no right angle.
Wait, so if there wasn't a line there, would it be?
No?
So, can you say it one more time? I'm really trying to understand.
So the deal is with these, if the very top angle is gonna be on the perpendicular bisector that's not drawn in yet, when it's on it, these two side lines get made equal.
They need to be.
They will be made equal. It will happen. So if they tell you in number 5 that, yeah, these guys are equal,
Yeah.
then you know, bingo, it's lined up exactly above where it would have been drawn.
Uh-huh.
Okay? But then look at the second one. For number 6, look at it this way. C's up here, right?
Yeah,
All I know is that this line's been bisected. Since there's no right angle, and they didn't mark CB equal to CA, I can't conclude that that has to be on the perpendicular
So-
bisector.
if they marked it between C and A and C and D, 2 marks,
Yes, so if they either mark those, or they made right angles on the segment, then I can say yes,
so either if they marked it or had a right angle.
right.
It
You
would-
have one or the other.
it
You have
would be-
neither, you can't say it.
It would be a perpendicular bisector, but it doesn't have this one, so therefore it's.
Right, it's not. Yep, now you got it. Okay, now remember this one. The circumcenter is is G in the middle there. And then the hash marks are all perpendicular bisectors. You should draw your right angles in. You should make sure that your sides of your triangle are bisected, because you can conclude that. And you know that BG, GA, and GC are all equal and equal to 25. Okay, so look at the questions for 8 and 9. So I'm going to ask you this question. You're going to see this again. What 2 things happen when a perpendicular bisector crosses a segment?
Equals 90 degrees.
So the right angle is formed and the segment is bisected. So it's a perpendicular bisector. So can you draw it?
Wait,
Perpendicular means a right angle is formed. Bisected means it's cut into 2 equal parts.
so it becomes perpendicular and a bisector.
So a right angle is formed, right
angles-
along
You
it,
can
right?
just write it down now, so.
Yep.
Right angles formed.
And the segment is bisected.
Okay,
Those are the 2 things. And then be able to draw it below.
right angle is formed, what was the second one you said, and,
The segment is bisected.
okay.
So if you can do
All right,
this,
Dr. Riley, is that all we have to do?
this is what I want you to do. Yep.
All right, am I good to go? All
Yes, you're good to go.
right, have a good day.
Georgie, post it. Okay. So in the meantime, I'm gonna stop sharing and I'll get back into that, quizzes.
Do you have any points to? Oh, yeah. How do you spell bisected?
Bisected.
So 2 things that happens when a perpendicular bisector crosses a segment is a right angle is formed and the segment is bisected. And that you said it will become, but so remember that. We'll just remember it.
You're good. Okay, so.
I'm confused on finding AG.
Say it again.
I'm confused on finding AG for the homework.
Let me look at yours. Okay, so A, G. I like that, no, this is G right here. All the lines from the vertex to the are all going to be the same. So they give you 1, they've given you 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So we do 25.
25, yep.
And same thing for BG.
Same thing for, is it the other one, that's solid? Yep, yep. So I'd make those like red or something so that you can see, oh yeah, those are all the same.
Okay.
Dr. Riley.
Mhm.
I have help with number one.
Say that again, Bryce?
May I have help with number one?
Absolutely. Okay,
I'm confused how I even set this up to find DE.
okay, so if triangle, if CE, okay, so CE is gonna equal something, right? Equals that, and BF equals that. Oh, you know how to do this. This is big,
I know, but
this is little.
yeah.
So 2 times little equals big. So what's the little? BF, 2 times this equals that.
Okay, and then, so because DE, would I just divide by 2?
So then, yes.
Okay.
So then DE is gonna be the same length as BF.
Okay,
Yep, you got it.
thank you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Dr. Riley, can you come, I have a question at number 9.
Okay.
When you have a chance. Is this correct?
No. Is that a,
Right angle form,
yeah, but this, what's bisected?
um,
Nothing.
wait.
No.
No, oh no.
So look. This is the shape you have to have. See, that's a perpendicular bisector.
It's that
How is
line,
that different than yours? You don't have a full line, you have a half line, you have just a right angle.
wait, so,
So you need the other half of that line,
oh, I see,
and
wait.
then you need to put hash marks on that.
So basically, when you do that, and you go,
If you want to go that way, you can, yeah, if you want to go that way, then make that a right angle, and
here,
make those
I'll-
two
I
equal.
can reverse it. Yeah. Yeah, look at, that was bad. Now I got that,
Huh?
you know, but
Now, make it perpendicular, so put a right angle, sorry,
you're okay.
and now it must be a bisector, so that has to equal that, put a hash mark.
On just this one side,
Now, 2 sides. Now it's bisected,
because it's got the right angle,
and it has, the segment is bisected.
and it's the right shape.
Yep, right shape.
Got it.
Like, I did something wrong.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Riley.
Marty, well, you're welcome. So this is big, this is little. 2 times little equals big. Is this what equals?
So 3x minus 1 equals 4x plus 2.
No, that's what you did. You need to say 2 times this, 2 times, 2 per n,
Oh,
right? 2 times little equals big,
oh, right.
okay? And then they're asking you for this little, right? So that little right here, they're asking you for the
So
CE
half of it.
is gonna be half of that, or the same as BF. Okay, so 2 times little equals big. And then, you have another question?
Yeah.
Let me come back, I his question too.
I don't know if I get this right, because
Because you did not do 2 times little equals big. You did. Big equals little.
yeah, that's right.
Doing the same problem. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay. So for this one, I'm used sense to what I have.
Okay, so JH is 9. Okay, good. HN is 7, and LM is 8. Okay, so they told you that. Wonder what's the perimeter of this little line here? Well, if this is 9, then this little guy is 9. Oops, I didn't touch it. If this is 14, right? Then this little guy is 7, just like that little guy is. So now you have, and if this is 8 here, that little guy is 8. So this one's 8, right there, sorry. So do you see how they gave you the half sizes of the outside?
Yeah.
So that means the whole thing is 18, right? So KH is 18. What's LN? Hang on a minute. 2 times little gives you big.
So,
9.
oh,
So for KM, if the whole thing is 16, right, because that's 8, then what's the little? Half of that.
Oh,
So you see the numbers they gave you are actually the ones that are gonna be inside.
I
And
still
then
don't
you just
think I
add
did
those
this
all
right.
up.
okay,
And that's
that's
what
what
it
it
is.
I
Yep.
still don't think I did this right.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. So, the word would be all numbered.
Let's see. Okay, so, oh, is this, you drew the line, but that's gonna be -2. 2 times
yeah.
-1, and then it should work out.
Yeah.
Cole, you out of here?
Yeah.
Here's the spray, honey. Go. Uh-huh. Okay, so we can get ready to do your desk and stuff,
Okay.
and I will do this, let's get to my line. This. And then 1, 2. So I'll put that quizzes up for you.
Sounds good.
We can leave, right?
Yes, you can leave.
Okay. Have a good weekend, Dr. Riley.
You too, honey.
Okay, first.
You're welcome now.
I think I did it.
Oh, what posted,
Yeah.
was this? All right, thank you so much, Dr. Riley. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, you too.
See you later. So the
Bye-bye.
quiz is on Monday, right?
Yeah,
And how many questions?
it's 2 sides and it's 24 points.
And like 45 minutes again?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Riley.
You're welcome. Bye,
All
honey.
right.
thank you.
You're welcome, Alice. Bye-bye.
But, can I review with you tomorrow after school?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that'd be good.
Should I send you an email? Just,
No, just come here, so I'll be here.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.